Hi everybody, it's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and we are here for our section of I'm Starting Over. Hi everybody, it's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and we are here for my section of the buddy read that Heather and I did together on The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. So we got some popcorn. You always gotta have popcorn when you do The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Our drink of choice today is flavored water. This is rather unexciting, but it's pretty hot here and I need to stay hydrated. So give me just a sec. Okay, now I have never been successful linking other people's videos in my video descriptions, but I can link her channel. And so what I'd like you to do when you finish this one, when you finish this video, because surely you will, right? When you finish this video is to go over and check out her Washington Irving video, because she focused on the author and it is fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. All sorts of fun bits of trivia that you can shove out at your next Halloween party. Really good stuff, really good stuff. I am going to focus on the story and why the story has survived. Let's see how many, 200 years at least, because it was written in 1819. So let's talk about it a little bit. If you've never read, which Heather never had, if you've never read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, let me give you an overview. Just briefly, you have this town, Tarrytown, and it is described by Washington Irving in detail, in beautiful, sumptuous detail. And it is a fall book. If you want some fall vibes, then you need to read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. We've got crisp apples, we've got falling leaves, we've got pumpkin pies, candlelight, and we've got spooky stories, because Ichabod loves a good spooky story. So who is Ichabod? Ichabod is a teacher, and he's real tall and he's real thin, and he's kind of a long nose, and he's a teacher, and he's come to teach the pupils and also to be kind of a choir director for the town of Tarrytown. And what they did at the time was he didn't have a house or anything, and he would move from farmer's house to farmer's house. Like, they would host him, like, I'll take him for this month and you take him for that month and everything like that. And the wives just doted on him, and he was very charming. He didn't look charming, but he was very charming. And they would tell him all of these tales. Now, these are Dutch Americans, but they would tell him all of these tales, the old Dutch wives' tales of ghostly spirits, screams in the woods at night. But the biggest ghost of them all, the most popular, the most terrifying, the most horrendous, is the Headless Horseman. Now, the Headless Horseman was apparently a Hessian soldier, and I didn't know what that was when I was a kid, but what it was like a mercenary, somebody from Germany who came over to fight in the Revolutionary War, and his head got blown off by a cannonball. But his ghost is determined to find his head, and so he trots out on spooky nights on his big black horse to find his head, often carrying a pumpkin as a light. And Ichabod is fascinated by that tale. He thinks it's 100% true. He's fascinated by it. Now, if you watch Heather's video, she will talk about how Washington Irving, he was an American, but he ended up living in London for a while, but he probably didn't come up with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow originally. He did a lot of traveling, and so he just picked up a lot of tales. He may have embellished it, he may have changed it, but it probably wasn't his original story. Okay, so Ichabod, Headless Horseman, got that explained. What else do we have to explain? We've got to explain Katrina Van Tassel and Brom Bones. So Brom Bones is like Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. He is a big guy, he's very confident, he's good looking, and he's got kind of a gang of friends, and they ride around at night causing trouble, but nothing mean. Like, he's a prankster. He's not like a mean guy. He's just sort of a big butchy jock. And both he and Ichabod are in love with the same young woman, Katrina Van Tassel. And she is everything that a young Dutch wife should be. She's a little plump. She's got rosy cheeks. She's very happy. She sings beautifully. And so she's just, and doesn't not help. And it helps. It does not help. And it helps that her father is a very wealthy landowner. Yeah, Mr. Van Tassel has lots of lands that he will bestow upon his future son-in-law, whoever that may be. So the story goes that Ichabod has an encounter with the Headless Horseman. And he has an encounter with the Headless Horseman, and he is never seen again. So what happened to Ichabod? You'll have to read the story to find out. But I am a Headless Horseman nut. I don't know if you've noticed my pillow. I have the Legend of Sleepy Hollow pillow with a little excerpt. There he is down there, the Headless Horseman. You know, how can I bring cross stitch into it? I can always bring cross stitch into it. This pattern is called Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow. And the only piece I'm doing is this one right there. Headless Horseman. And here is our progress. Not too bad. He doesn't have a black horse on this one, he has a brown horse, but whatever. In the book, it's very much a black horse, but whatever. Why has this tale stood the test of time? First off, because this is my reasoning. I have no research based on this whatsoever. First off, it's a tale of a budding young America. It's a budding young America and how they lived and how they functioned, and that, I think, alone is worth reading it for. How he moves from house to house, and how they have these parties with ample food and everything like that, and how the Dutch, who settled in the New York area, this all takes place in the New York area. Hold on, water break. And the Dutch, like any group, how they stay together and keep their old traditions while bringing in new traditions. The other thing that I think that makes it just a classic that has not ever gone out of style is the pumpkin. Because we love pumpkins. And the pumpkin head on top that he rides around with, watch my book. The pumpkin head that he rides around with, and that is found crushed on the ground after his encounter with Ichabod. The pumpkin, the symbol of fall, the symbol of harvest. They didn't have pumpkins over in Europe, I don't think. If I'm wrong about that, put it in the comments. But I know the Irish, from which I am descended, they did like turnip gourds on Halloween, and they hollowed them out, and they did these turnip gourds to scare away the evil spirits and everything like that, which we do now with jack-o'-lanterns. But I think that, you know, the essence of fall and the whole idea of windy, spooky nights and pumpkins and lights flickering off in the distance that you can't see. That it all makes a tale, not a story, a tale. And I love The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Now, this one has a horrible sticker on it. I got it used, but I used to have a beautiful copy. I need to get another beautiful copy. But this one has like a 2-for-1, and it says complete and unabridged. Look how big this is. Now, you don't want to abridge that. There's no need to abridge that. It's small enough as it is. But The Headless Horseman is something that children can read. It's something that adults can read. It'll only take you a couple hours to read the whole thing. And you will be transported, absolutely transported, because Washington Irving, in my opinion, was a fantastic writer. And in Heather's video, you'll find out that he was very popular during his time. And he'd written so many other things. I see them at the bookstore, but I never pick them up. But he is mostly renowned for The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And Tarrytown is a real place. And if you go up to upstate New York and you go to Tarrytown, they have the whole video. I mean, click on YouTube and see some videos. They do the whole Headless Horseman thing around the autumnal season. And it's just fun and gorgeous, and it's on my bucket list, and I've always wanted to go. One day I will get there. Yes, I believe that. One day I will get there. But you know what? I just think it's a harbinger of fall reading The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, because Sleepy Hollow represents the quintessence. Is that the right word? I don't know. The quintessence of autumn in America. And it's wonderful. Okay, so that's my video. And I've got some upcoming things. I'm starting to read Drood. Heather and I are going to do a buddy read of a ghost story, The Uninvited, in September. Very excited about that. And anyway, I love everybody. Thank you so much for subscribing. And this is a pretty short video for me. Maybe it's longer than most. I don't know. I don't count. Anyway, I will check you later.